Hello there, and welcome to World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. So we're here on the Karelia map on assault mode, and we're on the defensive team. One of the problems I often find in Karelia with assault mode on the defensive team is that there's enough cover immediately around the cap circle area to encourage players to actually just camp in more or less where they're starting from. The problem is that this cover doesn't have great sight lines to where the enemies are approaching from, so the enemies get quite close, and the advantage and initiative is on the enemy side. So initially I'm going to head up right up to the southern southwestern actually corner of the map, onto the high ground at the edge of where the cap circle is in the standard map. Primarily not here to actually try and stop the enemies, but to spot them as they appear over the rise. I'll stay on the northern side because it's unlikely I'd make it to the southern side before any enemies would come up from the southwestern spawn point. And if I'm caught on the rise, I'm vulnerable to fire from tanks in the centre, on the ridge in the centre of the map, where they could see me and I won't be able to see them back. So I'm basically parking in here, just sticking the tank out to see what's going on. The idea is that as soon as I spot stuff, I can basically retire back down to the rocks near where I spawned from, and meanwhile, if stuff is spotted from across the lake, I get the odd shot at it like here. So a lot depends on how fast they evolve. Sometimes you get a heavy force coming up this side, and I've detected, I've been spotted, and it's time to start pulling back. So there's two tanks up here, and I don't really want to be caught here because there's no way of getting fire on these tanks without being exposed and exchanging hit points. This early in the game is too early. So I'm basically legging it back now to a spot where I think I can get good ranging shots in these tanks as they come around the corner. However, one of my allies has also come up to join me in this position, a medium tank. Now he's better able to engage in peek-a-boom tactics. He's got slightly better armour, and if he does it right, he can take advantage of the guns behind him. However, he's pushing a little too far forward. He should pull back and encourage the tanks to try and come round to his position, so that the tanks behind him will also get shots at them. So far, the enemy tanks haven't moved into a location where myself or other tanks further back have a clear shot at them. And the Boilermaker really should be pulling back. Now the enemy Boilermaker advances up there. I didn't react in time to get a decent shot in. And I'm not sure. I'm kind of caught here between 6 and 7s to go to the left side of the rock or the right side of the rock. Now if the allied Boilermaker had pulled back further, the enemy Boilermaker would have had come around the rock like he did there at the end, and we would have been able to take him out quite easily. However, there was only a couple of tanks up there, and with a heavy tank moving into position, I decided that maybe I might go back up, assist the heavy tank, because now that the Boilermaker's been taken out, the enemy tanks know that there's tanks at the back down here, and they know that they have nobody to spot them unless somebody's moving up to the middle of the lake or through the lake. So I drive back up, hopefully that the heavy tank will be drawing fire, and I can use him as bait to cause other tanks to come out and get my shots in. So an opportunity here. He's kind of partially hidden, his gun is blocked, and I get a shot at him. But I pull back for the reload. I really have to watch that second tank. Now I risk exposing myself a little here, and he pushes forward, so we both get a shot at each other. So I pull back again for the reload, and I have to keep moving as well because I'm worried about artillery. So the rest of our team managed to take him down. So I get another shot into him, he gets one into me, and the heavy gets a shot into him as well. So he's on very low health. And we start pushing forward, and he thinks the better of his position and just starts to vacate the locale. So now that I'm reloaded, I'm pushing forward and I'm supporting the heavy tank because he's got a more forward position. Now the enemy team have lost quite a lot of tanks at this point. So I'm going to push down along the edge of the map here and see if I can get line of sight on any artillery in the gap near the spawn location where there might be some located. I'll leave the heavy tank move towards the centre and take care of any people that he might see from there. I just got to make sure that none of them have a line of sight on me because I got 6 cents went off there as I pushed forward. And initially I didn't have a line of sight to the artillery, but I managed to spot him when I pulled back behind from the rock and take the artillery out. So now there are very few enemy tanks left. We know there are some of them in the lake side in front of the hill. So there's a really golden opportunity here to catch artillery unawares at the back of the map. And I get my first sighting on top of the hill here, and I think he's unaware. He knows that he's been sighted, so 6 cents has probably gone off. But he reverses because I think he's unaware of the fact that he was sighted from behind. There's a second artillery on the hill, but I've decided I'm not going to really go after him. But he has spotted me. So I'm driving towards the base of the hill to try and misdirect anybody who is watching my spotted tank. So I wait until 6 cents has gone off before I actually turn, come back down to the low ground again. It takes quite a while to drive to the top of the hill, and those tanks in the centre of the lake will spot me when I get there. I might even be waiting because there's some good cover against the opposite side of the lake on certain locations there, depending on where exactly they are. However, I should be able to get fire on him from this side. So the OI get a nice shot at the side. He's slow in reacting, and his turret's only starting to turn now, so I get another shot off, but then I better pull back, because if he hits me anywhere near, he'll finish me off. High explosives from that tank does a huge amount of damage. So I decide to relocate to the higher ground, see if I can get a second shot off, but I get spotted. They don't manage to hit, just the tracks. They do a small amount of damage, but a lot of it's absorbed by the tracks, but they don't come after me. And I don't want to drive out, he's kind of waiting for me on that side, so I thought maybe pull back, turn and come at it from the other side. So I've got my tank around and I'm coming up from the edge of the map here. We get up into the position and we should be able to spot him any moment soon. Unfortunately for me, he was thinking of doing the same thing. He missed with his shot. So I decided to pull back, take the hit and finish him off. So that was it. 3 kills, 10 damaging ribbons. So I finish up with a high caliber sniper medal, second class mastery, doing over 2,000 points of damage and coming top of the team from experience. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to catch you again soon. Thank you very much for watching.